the problem is we're struggling with this 2% growth scenario that we've been stuck in since this recovery began 5 years ago, and that's really the difficulty here. Everybody wants 3% growth or 3.5% growth like we had during the 1990s, but we can't seem to get that done. And it just continues on and on and on where, yeah, we'll get a quarter at 3%, maybe another quarter at 3%, but then we'll get a 1.5% growth. And on average, it kind of plays out to about a 2% growth rate. And that's just not robust enough long term to generate the kind of job growth that we all want and expect, and kind of push that unemployment rate down to 4% again. And that's really what the problem that we're seeing here in the place and time that we are in is revolving around this just incredibly modest growth. It's not bad, it's just not good. It's just, yeah, and that's what we seem to have. And so, and we can't generate jobs at the rate we want to generate them. We can't tighten labor markets the way we want to tighten them to put upward pressure on wages until we can push past this 2% GDP growth that we seem to be stuck in and have been for quite some time.
And you don't see that happening anytime in?
No, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Certainly not the remainder of this year, and there doesn't look to be anything in 2015 that's going to change that 2% projection. And even if we got a little bit more, it's likely the Fed will start cranking interest rates up again, which any kind of steam we get, they'll just pull it right back out again by raising interest rates in 2015, a little earlier maybe than they anticipated. We've had a little bit of problem with inflation the first half of this year. At the rate we've seen prices go up in the first 6 months of 2014, if that were to continue for the entire year, we'd be pushing past 4% rate of inflation for the year. And that's a high enough number that it would start to get the attention of the Fed and get the inflation hawks a little bit more power, and see probably the Fed start to raise interest rates in 2015.